Study reveals the 4 proven signs a man is using you. Watch out before it's too late. 1. Inconsistent affection. The first and perhaps most confusing behavior is inconsistent affection. One minute he's showering you with attention, compliments, and seemingly deep interest in your life, and the next, he's distant, unavailable, and cold. I remember dating a guy who would text me constantly for days, making me feel like the center of his universe. Then suddenly, he'd disappear for days without explanation. When he'd return, there'd be no acknowledgement of his absence. Just back to the intense attention, as if nothing happened. Sound familiar? This hot and cold pattern isn't accidental. Research shows that intermittent reinforcement, giving rewards unpredictably, creates a powerful psychological dependency. When pleasurable moments are few and far between, your brain actually releases more dopamine when the reward finally comes, strengthening your attachment to the very person who's treating you poorly. Scientists have found this works on a biochemical level. When pleasure and reinforcement are unpredictable, our reward circuits become more sensitized. In contrast, consistent affection actually releases less dopamine over time. It's like we become addicted to the emotional highs that follow the lows. But wait, isn't this just how some people naturally are? Maybe he's just busy or stressed? Here's the crucial difference. A man who genuinely cares about you might have moments when he's less available, but he'll communicate this clearly. He won't leave you guessing or anxious about where you stand. The man who's using you thrives on keeping you off balance. Start tracking the pattern. Create a simple note on your phone and record when he's hot and when he's cold. Look for triggers. Is he affectionate only when he wants something? Does he disappear after getting what he wants? Seeing the pattern in black and white can be eye-opening and break the spell of making excuses for his behavior. Remember, you deserve someone whose interest in you doesn't fluctuate based on what they can get from you at any given moment. 2. Lack of reciprocity. The second major red flag researchers have identified is a consistent lack of reciprocity. This happens when you find yourself constantly giving your time, emotional support, maybe even financial help, while receiving little to nothing in return. I once dated someone who would call me whenever he needed advice, support through a crisis, or help with something practical. But when I needed the same, suddenly he was too busy or would minimize my concerns. I felt drained. Yet, I kept giving, hoping it would eventually balance out. Relationship counselor Ronald Huang explains it perfectly. The biggest signs a man is using a woman in a relationship are emotional manipulation, selfishness, and a lack of reciprocity. If one partner consistently gives while the other takes, without offering anything in return, whether it's time, effort, or emotional support, it's a red flag. This imbalance isn't just frustrating. It's actually harmful to your well-being. Being in a one-sided relationship can lead to feelings of inadequacy, resentment, and emotional exhaustion. You might find yourself making more and more concessions just to keep the relationship going, while your own needs remain unmet. But maybe he just doesn't realize what I need? Maybe I'm not communicating clearly enough? Here's the truth. A man who values you will be actively interested in your needs and happiness, even if you don't explicitly state them every time. He'll notice when you're giving and naturally want to give back. If you find yourself constantly having to explain basic relationship reciprocity, you're likely dealing with someone who's using you. Perform a simple reciprocity check. Think about the last 5 times you did something significant for him. Now count how many times he's done something comparable for you without being asked. If the numbers are wildly unbalanced, it's time to have a serious conversation about your needs. And if nothing changes, it's time to reconsider the relationship. Your value isn't determined by how much you can give to someone who offers nothing in return. 3. Manipulation tactics. The third behavior is perhaps the most damaging: the use of manipulation tactics to control and exploit you. These can range from subtle to overt and include gaslighting, guilt trips, love bombing, and emotional blackmail. Gaslighting. making you question your own reality, is particularly common. A man might deny saying something you clearly remember, tell you you're too sensitive when you bring up legitimate concerns, or twist situations to make you doubt your perceptions. I dated someone who would frequently make plans and then deny we ever discussed them when the time came. When I'd show him the text messages proving we had, he'd say I was being obsessive for keeping track. It left me constantly second-guessing myself. Another common tactic is love bombing, showering you with excessive affection and attention at the beginning of a relationship. Research shows that men who turn on romance like a faucet are often using this as a manipulation strategy. They tell you they know you're the one before they've even gotten to know you, creating a false sense of intimacy. Studies from the Institute for Family Studies found that relationships where intimacy is rushed tend to have poorer outcomes. That's because love bombing isn't about genuine connection. It's about creating dependency and setting the stage for future manipulation. But what if he's just naturally romantic and expressive? Isn't it good that he's so into me? Genuine affection grows naturally over time as two people get to know each other. Love bombing, by contrast, feels overwhelming and often comes with pressure to commit quickly before you've had time to see the person's true character. A man who's genuinely interested in you will respect your pace and won't try to artificially accelerate intimacy. Create some emotional distance to test the waters, pull back slightly, and see how he responds. A manipulator will often either escalate their tactics to regain control or suddenly lose interest altogether when they sense you slipping away. Pay close attention to how he handles your boundaries. Does he respect them or try to push past them? Your answer reveals volumes about his intentions. No one has the right to make you question your reality or use your emotions as leverage against you. 4. Avoidance of future talk. The fourth behavior that research consistently identifies is an avoidance of commitment or any serious discussion about the future. This manifests as vagueness about the relationship status, reluctance to make plans beyond the immediate future, and changing the subject when commitment comes up. Dating and relationship coach Debbie Rivers calls this out clearly. The man who wants a relationship will leave you in no doubt of his intentions. You won't feel the uncertainty or anxiety, as he will be clear about wanting to be with you. The man who wants a situationship will be the opposite. I spent nearly a year with someone who would say things like, "Let's just see where this goes," whenever I tried to clarify our relationship. He was happy to enjoy all the benefits of being in a relationship, but would become evasive when labels or future plans came up. I kept making excuses. Maybe he'd been hurt before. Maybe he just needed time. But research shows that men who are genuinely interested in building something meaningful with you won't leave you guessing about where you stand. They might take time to commit, but you'll see consistent progress rather than perpetual ambiguity. There's a crucial difference between someone who moves thoughtfully toward commitment and someone who deliberately keeps things ambiguous to maintain their options. The former will still show consistent investment in getting to know you more deeply and building towards something. The latter will resist any movement toward greater clarity or commitment. Have a direct conversation about expectations. You don't need to demand immediate commitment, but you deserve clarity about whether you're moving in that direction. Say something like, "I've been enjoying our time together and I'd like to understand how you see this relationship developing." A man who's genuinely interested might need time, but he won't be completely resistant to discussing the future. If he can't even engage in the conversation, that tells you everything you need to know. Your time is valuable, and you deserve someone whose vision for the future includes you, not just someone who keeps you as an option while they explore others. Now that we've explored these 4 behaviors, I want to address something important. If you've recognized these patterns in your relationship, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Many intelligent, loving people have found themselves in these situations. The manipulation tactics we've discussed are designed to confuse you and erode your self-confidence. That's why recognizing them is so powerful. Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your agency. Remember that a healthy relationship should leave you feeling secure, respected, and valued. It should add to your life, not drain it. As relationship experts consistently point out, love shouldn't feel like an emotional roller coaster or a one-sided effort. Let's wrap this up with some real talk. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Your instincts know the truth before your mind catches up. Talk to trusted friends or family. They often see what you can't. Set clear boundaries and pay attention to his reaction. If he respects you, he'll honor them. If not, that's your answer. Most importantly, remember your worth. You deserve love that's mutual, honest, and respectful. Don't ever settle for less just to feel wanted. You are enough, just as you are. I hope this information empowers you to recognize these behaviors early and make choices that honor your worth. If you're currently in a relationship with someone showing these signs, know that there are healthier connections waiting for you on the other side of this one. Remember, awareness is your superpower. Now that you can name these behaviors, they no longer have the power to confuse you. You deserve authentic love, nothing less. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more such content.